This is America's weather streaming channel, meteorologist Chris Sramek, with this week's Changing Times High Plains Ag Weather and Christmas forecast. So far this fall and winter season, we've seen two surges of Arctic wintry air. The first was leading up to Halloween and the second right after Thanksgiving. What are our chances for another around Christmas, and it being a white Bing Crosby type Christmas? Well, generally, according to the statistics kept by the National Weather Service office, the tri-state area has around a 30% chance, or 1 out of every 3 or 4 years. This definition is based on having at least 1 inch of snowfall on the ground at some point during Christmas Day. Chances increase about 10% every 100 miles as you go north and reaching 90% or higher along the Canadian border. Well, currently this year there is some snow on the ground along the Canadian border in the Rockies and northern parts of New York and the New England states. There also is a Pacific system moving through today with snow in the southern Rockies and some being forecasted for the eastern plains of Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, the Texas-Oklahoma Panhandle, and southwestern Kansas over the next 24 hours. But as high pressure returns over the weekend and expands eastward next week, daytime temperatures will return above normal readings in the 50s, melting and lowering our chances for most parts of the country for having a white Christmas this year. The warmer and drier conditions are due in part that we are in a peak El Nino weather pattern here for December, with systems that do occur are coming from a Pacific origin and taking a southern route through the southeastern United States and then moving up the east coast. This puts the best chances for a white Christmas in the higher elevations around the mountains and your typical northern states along the Canadian border and in the northeast, and the High Plains region also has chances if a system tracking over the Rockies can pull some cold air into the system as it moves through during the mornings or overnights. So with the warm up next week leading up to Christmas weekend, do we have any hope? Lo and behold, if this morning's model runs are close to being on and accurate, the tri-state area has a good chance of anywhere in the country to have snow on Christmas Day, as another Pacific system is tracking over the Rockies and through the plains. The GFS and European models are both showing snow falling over the Rockies and in the plains, with 24-hour QPS in the tri-state area showing around 1,500 of precipitation, which would be equivalent to an inch or two of snow if it can get cold enough and can stick around on the ground long enough to get measured. And chances increase as you go north into the Great Plains and the northern plains of Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, and the Dakotas. And what does this mean for the ag weather forecast? Well, if we can pick up a 1/4 inch of precipitation today, maybe another 1/4 inch around Christmas, there is a third system forecasted for New Year's taking that Pacific route across the southern states. And if that can add another 1/4 inch of precipitation, we will be right around seasonal averages, a 1/2 inch in December and around 60 in January. However, these storms are not moving slow enough to produce that big blizzard-type snowfall, is what we really need to make any real impact on the abnormally dry and moderate drought that continues to spread across the tri-state region. This concludes today's Changing Times Ag Weather Forecast, brought to you by America's Weather Streaming Channel. If you're looking for a good Christmas gift for that weather enthusiast or farmer or rancher in your family, you can now get a New Year's subscription where you can receive accurate and timely daily forecasts, decision support for strategic planning, and real-time updates and alerts on your computer, cell phone, and expanding YouTube channel. It can save you time and money for a very small investment. For more information, visit americasweathersc.com.